It's all about monsters. More monsters, more lore, more workshops on monsters. This is what we do here. This is my contribution to the community, where we try to keep you delving into how you can make your own stuff, but also go over what other people have done before. And of course, I keep saying this, but it's always best to start with the monster lore rather than the mathematics of your monster, so you've got a better idea of how it's going to work in your adventures, in the stories that you're trying to tell, and connecting with your players. I honestly think that is the better route. I'm going to put up a poll. Feel free to take part in that poll. This is going to be a very short presentation. I do these. They're really only maybe at the most 3, 4, 5 minutes, and we're done, and then we'll go straight into the workshop. So don't just leave once I've finished talking about the Dream Devourer, okay, because I won't be finished. So grab some food, some drink, make sure you're comfortable, get your brains ticking, and I'm going to do my presentation fairly quickly, and then we'll get straight into the meat and potatoes of what you're here for, which is the monster lore. Hi, welcome to How to RPG. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I want to talk about the Dream Devourer. That's right, the Dream Devourer. What is that thing? What are we talking about? What we're talking about is a monster, a creature, which is designed for Dungeons & Dragons 5e. This is the monster lore. It comes from Esper's Emporium of Esoterica. So it's not an unusual monster in that it doesn't exist and you may never have heard of it, because actually this book has been around a long time. The Esper's Emporium of Esoterica has actually been around a very long time. But the Dream Devourer is an unusual creature, and it presented a few problems for me when I was trying to actually present it to you. But it's ready to go. So here we go. A Dream Devourer is a terrifying creature. It is spawned from the dreams of a dark and forgotten god. A Dream Devourer has sort of like a spider-like body that melds into a vaguely humanoid torso with sort of otherworldly flesh and several arms ending in claws. The face of the Dream Devourer is eyeless. There are no eyes. It can open a massive mouth, revealing rows of long fangs and a lashing extendable tongue. The horror of the Dream Devourer is that it actually consumes the dreams of a sleeping prey, often leaving that unfortunate victim in a permanent catatonic state. Although a fiendish monster capable of physical combat, the Dream Devourer prefers to remain hidden at a distance while it feasts. If confronted by significant force or numbers, the Dream Devourer is likely to flee. Usually it does this using the superior mobility that it has at its access. This thing moves very fast. We'll talk more about that. Many of these horrendous creatures exist throughout the plains, but the Dream Devourer is a solitary being and reacts quite violently if they encounter one another. When a Dream Devourer slays another of its kind, the defeated one vanishes, returning to the nightmares of whatever outer god birthed it. The tongue of the Dream Devourer is extremely long. It can wrap around a victim, magically draining the brain waves from that creature while stunning the creature and its prey at the same time. With superior speed, the Dream Devourer is so quick it can dodge just about anything. Because of the nerve endings, they are doubled up. Although the Dream Devourer does speak deep speech, it can also communicate telepathically. Now, camouflaging, changing color, changing shape, changing texture, changing its nature and what it appears, the Dream Devourer can blend into almost every environment, if not all environments. This is a very nasty thing. You do not want to fall asleep. You do not want to have a nightmare. You do not want to dream. You don't want to daydream. This thing has got you sorted out. Now that's everything I have on the Dream Devourer. I want to thank you for watching and listening. I want to thank my patrons. I also want to thank Esper the Bard for allowing me to do this content. I really do appreciate all of his support. And all the best with your monsters. And until next time, keep rolling those 20s. Now, I'm not gone, but I do need to open my office. So I'm just putting the I'll be back while I adjust things around, okay? So just bear with me while I do that. Here we go. Much better. You may be able to hear the cicadas in the background. They're all singing very, very loudly because it's a very warm day. It is very hot, and I am very hot. And let's get back to my face. Okay, hello, how are you? Now, every time I do these, Esper has asked that I show you the page section in his book on this creature that I'm talking about. So we're going to do that. I will show you what it is, show you how it sort of works mechanically, because even though we're doing the lore of this creature, I'm sure some of you would like to see some of the artwork. I've already kind of shown you the artwork in the thumbnail, but there's also the mechanics behind the monster. So here we go. This is the page entry. It's only a challenge rating 7, so it's sort of a mid-range monster, I would say, ultimately. Armor class 17. It's got a lot of hit points, 136 hit points, but for, you know, challenge rating 7, it sounds like a lot, but really it isn't. It has a speed of 50 feet, so it moves really fast, and it can climb, spider climb, upside down if it needed to, and it climbs at a speed of 50 feet. So it's very quick. It moves very, very fast. It is it's proficient in things like acrobatics, stealth, perception. It's a very strong and quick creature or monster, and it's also wise, making it pretty deadly. It has the ability to camouflage itself and contort its body, and it has an evasion ability, which is why I was talking about the fact that it can pretty much dodge anything. It has multi-attack. You can bite, claw, you can use its tongue and give them a French kiss if you really want, while stunning them and draining their brain energy, which is psychic. And of course we have Dream Devourer, this special ability, which really will just basically allow you to suck their brains of their dreams and mess them up pretty badly. It's the key feature in this whole monster here, and I will just zoom in so you can sort of see that little bit there. Right here. So Dream Devourer targets a sleeping or tranced creature within 120 feet, okay, and it feasts on the creature's dreams. The target or living creature, okay, must have an intelligence of 5 or higher, otherwise it's not interested. It does want to feed on something that's dumb, okay, and it has to stay within range of 120 feet, and after 1 hour, the Dream Devourer, okay, forces the target to make a wisdom check, okay, a wisdom saving check of 15. That's the DC. Otherwise, they wind up with their wisdom score being reduced. I know that sounds terrible, okay, and it can take a long rest for 24 hours. So on a failed save, the creature's wisdom score is reduced by 3, or you roll a 6-sided dice, and it cannot take a long rest for 24 hours. In other words, it's not good. It means that the impact is at least going to affect you for a day. A creature that completes a long rest recovers 2 points of wisdom reduction. If a creature reaches wisdom 0, it remains unconscious indefinitely, and only the greater restoration spell can restore its wisdom score. So it doesn't kill you, but you're pretty much a vegetable. For those of you who don't want to be a vegetable, you don't want to get your dreams sucked out by this thing. That's basically it, really. Okay, now for those of you who know, we've been working on a project where we make a lot of different monster lore tools, or tools that I think you will use for creating your own monsters. And we've done various things. We've done everything from the different parts of a monster. We've done things like different animals that you combine together. We've done monster special abilities, monster traits, monster motivation, the monster's sort of lair or environment. We've done the monster's origin. We've done monster weaknesses or frailties. We've done monster communication methods, and we've been working on monster senses, the different types of senses that your monster or creature might be able to have. And so that is the one that we're going to sort of look at today and work through. Now, I would normally track the chat on my phone. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be jumping back and forth from my head cam to this page. This is the page we have. We have actually done quite a lot. You guys presented a lot of ideas. I would say I've only got about 9 sort of, well, maybe 8 finalized, and the rest need to be sort of either adjusted, okay, because there's a few here. I do not expect we will get 100 different monster senses. That would be insane, okay? It would be great if we could do it, but I don't think it can be done. So what we'll do is, I think we'll aim for roughly about 40. I think 40 is probably a good number. If you guys can come up with some more ideas, great. So that's the plan. That's what I'm going to do for today. That's what we're going to work on. But before I do that, I'm taking off my hat. It's a very warm day. I won't survive if I leave it on. I want to look at the chat first, and I want to sort of put in a prompt, get you guys thinking, for those of you who are interested. Fred Hubert is a patron. Thank you for being here. Worse than a nightmare. Yes, the Dream Devourer is pretty bad. Definitely, I would say it's worse than a nightmare. Okay, so I'm going to just put into the chat your suggestions. Hashtag, what are some interesting monster senses? And so we're going to go here, sight, hearing, taste, what else? Hello, Pale Rider. Fecal dust sense can track by its fart. Can track its fart. Yeah. Oh God, here we go. What are some interesting monster senses? Sight, hearing, taste, touch. What have I missed? Have I missed something? Sight, hearing, taste, touch, etc. Okay, so this is what and so the structure for it is, if you can, a tag name and then description, because otherwise it's a lot of work for me, description. And I do expect that I will have to do some work. That's all right. Of sense. Okay, let me go back to where I was. Detect magic. Okay, all right. Well, let me just grab detect. I think we actually had detect magic already, but if we don't, we'll include it. I'm just going to close this one and this one, so I'm working on the one tab. Magic sense. We've got magic sense already. There's literally a feature called magic sense. We won't call it detect magic because it just sounds too much like the spell. And then your farting thing, I think we've got something that's sort of like that in there already, Pale Rider, but you never know. Can feel magically, identify. Hello, Chris. How you doing? Web sense can sense the presence of a creature on the same web. Oh, I see. Well, it's sort of like it's more a tactile thing you're talking about here, aren't you? Paste. All right. So I'm just going to put this in here. I'm going to mark my point. Go back to the document and sort of focus on that for a little bit, and then I will come back and check this the chat to see what you guys have come up with since then, and I'll put a marker there so I know what I'm doing. Hopefully that'll work. That's the plan anyway. All right, there's my X is my mark. There, I know. I've caught up to there. So let's go and look at the document. Let's do some work, and then I'll come back and check the chat. So first off, We have enhanced hearing. The monster can hear, so enhanced hearing can hear, can detect low and high frequency sound waves. Okay, enhanced hearing. High frequency is kind of like the dog. Really low frequency, if it's low enough, I'm pretty sure low frequency is hard to detect as well. So yeah, we'll include that. Although I would like to check that point. Is low frequency. Just check. Sound hard to hear. Alright, okay, low end noises comes with a longer wavelength, making it some of the most resilient. Okay, low frequencies travel great distances and pass through walls more than others. Human ear struggles to register waves with a low frequency the closer they get to 20 hertz. We often feel low frequencies more than we hear them. Right, so really low frequency, we're probably not going to be able to hear them. And then it gives you some different frequencies there. Those are very high frequencies. Okay, all right. But that's that sort of got us on the right track. I think that's fine. That's got that in. We've got here empathic touch as a sense for feeling the emotions of a creature. We have our enhanced hearing. We have hearing, which is just perceiving sound waves traveling through the ear. Just nothing particularly special. Kind of feel like the two are a bit of a repeat, but there is a difference. Infravision, which is basically seeing heat. Neural oscillation, being able to detect brain waves, rhythmic or repetitive patterns of neural activity. Night vision, which is basically just seeing grayscale and darkness. Sight, the monster uses eyes to detect light. So we've just got an extension of the dark vision to something else. This is your normal sort of sight, so you're seeing position, shape, brightness, colors, stuff like that. Sonar, the monster can detect creatures, objects, and shapes. Terrain features by bouncing sound. So we've got that. That's basically your echolocation. Vibration, the monster feels vibrations or movements in solid matter, liquid, or air. So next, DNA smell. The monster can identify and track a specific DNA by... Okay. I don't know that smell is the way to go. I think maybe DNA detection. Is it DNA? I almost feel like DNA is going to be taste. Do you remember that terrible Terminator movie? Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. And the hot chick Terminator sticks her finger in blood she finds on the ground, sticks it in her mouth and tastes it, and is able to detect the genetic DNA of John Connor. I feel like it's going to be taste, not smell. Maybe I will. Yeah, I think I might do that. Let's do this. DNA taste. The monster can identify and track a specific DNA by taste and smell. Let's put the two together, because taste and smell are very connected. For those of you who don't know, I have a very poor sense of smell, and so when I do actually sense something in terms of smell, instead of it being picked up by my nose receptors, it gets picked up by my tongue. So instead of smelling it, I will taste it on my tongue, even though I haven't put anything in my mouth. I know that's a strange thing. My brain is obviously wired up a bit differently, but also too, I have really bad hay fever and my sinuses just get blocked. So my brain has to work differently to deal with stuff. So usually I can't smell anything. or even taste anything unless it's really, really bad. Anyway, so DNA taste. Let's go. We'll just put DNA detection. I like that better. That's gonna work fine. Let's do that one there. DNA detection. DNA. There we go. Detection. Sense magic. The monster can determine the distance, strength, and strength, direction, and nature of magical effects or auras. I think that's our magic detection. Determine. There we go. Sense magic. Sense, which goes after. It goes here, right in between. Stick that in there. Paste that. I'm not going to go for 2 hours. It's too. I've been saying this before. It's simply too hot for me to be able to pull that off. Somebody had detect alignment, magic sense, certain range. So actually magic sense, and I put sense magic sense. So we actually had it twice, didn't we? So I've written it up already. Let's just remove that. Then we'll take magic sense, and I'll put it somewhere else. Put it in a different place. Sense. Let's go here. Cut magic goes before here. Right there. That's where it should live. Alright, okay. Undead sense. Somebody wanted to put undead sense in here. We haven't done the other ones here, but that's fine. Undead sense. The monster can detect the necrotic or evil soul possessing a corpse. Possessing a corpse or skeleton. Okay. Let's do that. Undead sense. Fine with that. Cut. Undead. Where does undead live? R-E-S-T. It's going to be you right there. You go there. Cool. Right, that's that one done. Alignment. A very unusual ability, but I'm not against the idea. Clairvoyance. The monster can predict any possible future event. I think we need to put clairvoyance in there now. That is done, so I don't have to do any work with that. Clairvoyance. Clear my voyancies. There we go. It can go there. Fear adaptation. To perceive fear in nearby enemies. Transcendental sight. Fear adaptation to perceive. No, so I think it needs to just. Fear detection. The monster. Now, I believe the monster perceives the hormones released by nearby entities. Released by nearby entities, nearby creatures, I guess. Creatures when they are fearful or frightened. Fright. Huh? Okay, I think I got it. That looks right. Detect alignment, which alignment detection, I think we're just going to call it alignment detection. It might be easier. Alignment detection. Let's do that. This is an odd one. Okay. The monster can sense the attitudes and inclinations of another creature, regardless of their current actions. Their current action. I think that's what it needs to be. Okay, so let's put this in here. This is a little odd. This one, alignment. Put that in. This is very old school in terms of its concept. I can tell you that now. Fear detection. We'll put the fear one in. So, what's it called? It's not called Quiet Earth. Is it called Quiet Earth? There is a movie that was put out about a monster that can detect fear. One that can detect. Actually, it might be the Will Smith movie with his son, and I can't. Is it After Earth? Not a particularly good movie, but this has got this fear idea. Fear. Fear. You can smell you smell your fear on you. Now it will come for you. You will regret that. Okay. Life detection can feel life energy. Come back to life force sense, can sense the presence of living creatures. These are very much the same thing. So we're just going to get rid of this. I don't think that it needs to be there. Portal sense. I like the idea of portal sense. Divination can sense potential in the futures of others. Divination. Oh, that's a little bit different to the clairvoyancy. Clairvoyancy is about events, and divination is different again. We've got danger sense, like Spider-Man, really. That's essentially what's going on there. Wealth can sense the monetary wealth of a creature. It's really odd. We'll get there. Web sense. Memory taste. Okay, alright, so there's a few here. I'll still keep working on these. We're doing alright. I'm just going to close this gap up so we're up to about 15, and I've got a bunch I've got to work on. So this is a good opportunity for me to have a drink of water, check the chat, and see what ideas you've come up with. Oh, that's better. Okay. How are we doing here? All right, so we have a few more people here. That's good. X-ray vision, that's a good idea. Genetic sense, that's interesting. So let's pull your ideas down. We have Dungeons and Chronics. Thanks for being here, Dungeons and Chronics. And we just need to clean up some of this. So let's just copy and paste, and I'll go back to the sheet and do it that way. For those of you who are hoping I would just track everything on my phone, I just find that it puts too much strain on my eyes, so I'm not doing that anymore unless I have no other choice. Sometimes there is no other choice, but I'm going to try to avoid it as much as I possibly can. Keep my eyes working for as long as they will. Half of smell is taste and half of taste is smell. Yes, like I said, they are very much connected. Hard to really separate them in humans. Yeah, that's true. Some people have it, like I said, it works differently depending on how your brain is wired up. What do you got here, Chris? Balance sense. Can improve their balance or sense when another creature is off balance. I'm not quite sure what to do with that one, but I'm just copying and pasting it for now, Chris. We'll see how this works out. Paste. And then mineral taste. Can taste what minerals are present in whatever they... Okay, alright, okay. We are hopefully getting it all. Yes, we are. Okay. Robo. Nodo. Okay, so that's good. And then spider sense can detect danger. Reflexes without any thought. We had really a sort of a danger sense already. I don't want to put spidey sense because it's too much like the Spider-Man sense. So we might be better to just rename that to danger sense, just to alleviate some of that hassle. Okay, I think I'm all caught up on the chat, so that means that I'm putting my mark in. If you guys come up with more ideas, great. If you don't, that's fine. I will continue. Clairvoyant taste can see glimpses of a person or creature's possible future. We've got that already. We've got clairvoyancy. It's already done. Done. Okay, let's get back to this document and see if Fred can shuffle some more things around, get a bit more done. You guys have offered lots of ideas, so I just need to turn them into something that's finished. Danger sense, tactile. Yeah. I think we'll just call it danger sense. Danger sense. I sense your danger. The monster can detect danger and has reflexes react without. Okay, so we need to build on this just a little bit so that it's clear what's going on here. Let's go cut. Just take this out completely. Let's go over here. Let's see if I can just turn this into a finished sentence. The monster can detect danger, impending threats, and react with lightning fast reflexes. I think that is our danger sense. Okay, I think that's what you're trying to get at, so we'll do that. Mineral taste. Can taste what minerals are present in a substance that is sampled. Okay. All right. So we just got to get the monster thing in there now. Okay. And mineral taste. It's good. Balance sense can improve their balance or sense when another creature's off balance. I'm a little unsure what to do with this, so I'm going to put a question mark there for now until I figure out how to deal with it. Let's move danger sense and mineral taste. Okay, danger sense. Cut. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger goes here. Danger. There we go. Danger sense. I feel like the text is all up the kaboo-boos. Let's go down here and see if I can fix that. It should all be Arial. I've messed it up. Oh, real. And it should be all sized 11. Yeah, okay. That's better. Okay. Get my formatting right. Okay, next. mineral taste, which is finished. Just grab that. And mineral, it's M. After magic should be right there. Mineral. Dun 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 done. Another drink of water. Trans-dimensional sight for some reason just jumped out at me. And let's just do that. Trans-dimensional sight. Monster. Do this. Sight. The monster can see into alternate dimensions occupying the same space. So we're just going to get rid of the. Into alternate dimensions occupying the same space. So, dimensional sight. Let's just do this one. Dimensional cut. Trans-dimensional. It's not dimensional, it's trans-dimensional. Come on, get it right, Fred. Trans-dimensional. Paste. Pardon me. Okay, next. X-ray. Let's get X-ray sorted. X-ray vision. X-ray vision. Bum bum bum. The monster can adjust normal vision to different degrees of X-ray. That's not really what. So this is not really going to work then in that form. The monster can adjust normal vision to different degrees of X-ray vision. Yeah, but that doesn't explain what X-ray vision is. So let's forget about that bit there. I think that is unimportant. What we need to do is we need to determine what X-ray vision is in terms of definition. Otherwise, it's not going to work very well. Most people know what X-ray vision is, but if we're going to create a vision, let's do it. Just do it properly. Opaque physical objects at a. Okay, what does X-ray vision mean? Can see through normally opaque. So this is what we want to do. See through normally opaque physical objects. So let's go with that. I think we'll port that over without the formatting. Through normally opaque physical objects except lead. Okay. So we've got our X-ray vision done. Nice. Portal sense. And I think we can take the X one out of there. So so it should be living around about there now. There's our X-ray. Okay, portal sense. Portal sense. And that monster can sense locations of dimensional portals or breaches in space and time. I think that covers everything if I put that in. Dimension. How did I get that? Now the location of dimensional portals or breaches in space and time. Okay, portal sense done. Bum bum bum. Cuts. And put in the P's. Where is the P? Where are you? P. Okay, should be after the M, before the S. Portal sense. Portal sense, and it should be there. Cool. Okay. Wealth is a very funny one, that one. Genetic sense can sense sickness, disease, mutations, etc. I feel like we have the DNA. You've got genetic here, but DNA. Well, no, that's being able to detect and identify and track a specific DNA by taste and smell. You're doing genetics. What is the difference? What are you? Genetic sense, although it seems like it's the same, it seems to me that you're what you're dealing with is just genetics. So this is can sense sickness, disabilities, mutations, etc. Mutations, deformities. What else? Disease. I think that's where you're going with that one. I think that's what you were trying to pass on as an idea. If I've got that wrong, you'll let me know. But I think that's what you're. So it's not really genetic sense. It's really what's the word for it? There's definitely got to be a word for it. It's an abnormality. I think that's what your genetic abnormality. Is that what we're trying to deal with? Abnormality. I think that's what you're trying to say there. Sickness, disabilities, because sometimes sicknesses actually cause genetic damage. So, for example, there's some evidence to suggest, and COVID, the viruses, there are quite a few COVID viruses. They've been around since the 1950s, or possibly even, probably longer than that actually, but in labs and been people mucking around with them since the 1950s. So, something like COVID-19, well, there's like COVID-50, there's COVID-18, there's a lot of different things. But what COVID does is it causes damage to your brain cells, obviously, like a lot of different sicknesses do. It causes cells to die. But it also can affect you genetically. So that's not a good thing. When a virus or a disease can actually affect you genetically, it changes the way that you function. And unfortunately, it's quite often to make you weaker than you were before rather than make you stronger. So, genetic abnormality. The monster can sense sicknesses, disabilities, mutations, deformities, and diseases. I think that's what you're trying to say there. But I'll leave it as is, and you'll let me know if I'm on the wrong track. You never know. It's always possible. Now, is there anything else that I could take here that sort of sings to me like, yep, I know what they're trying to say and communicate? Wealth. Wealthy. I guess can I just call it wealth? It's such an odd one. That's why I put so many question marks beside it. Life sense. Life force. ESP, which is, we've got to do ESP at some point. The problem with ESP is it's such a jumble of different ideas. Weakness sense, can sense if someone is sick or wounded. What type? Right. The monster can detect small and large doses of radioactive decay. So we just need to give that a tag name, don't we? Radiation detection. Let's just call it that. Let's just call it what it is. We've got radiation detection. We don't actually have anything that's like that yet, so that's a new one. Radiation. Radiation. Don't have an R, but we do now because we're putting it in. There it is. Radiation connection. Right, so let's just draw everything together a little bit more to make it a little bit easier for me to understand where I'm at, what I have left to do, what was going to work. And we need to do some of the basics as well. I'm not really sort of rushing at them because it doesn't seem like there's much point, but yep, okay. So yeah, here's a few that I probably should work on as well. Let's go back to the chat and see how the chat is coming along with your ideas. Wow, there's been a lot of ideas since I last looked. Cool, blimey! I'm just scrolling down here. You've been busy. You've been busy bees. All right, so let's go through here. Pale Rider, we've got clairvoyancy already, so I won't remember that. Danger Sense has been done. Danger Sense is like the Barbarian feature in 5e. I suppose it is, but does that matter? Chris, remember, when we do this stuff, when I make these tables, nothing against your comment, but I just don't give a shit about 5e. I play 5e. Let's get real. I play a very heavily modified version of 5e. I run a very heavily modified version of 5e, but I couldn't give a shit about 5e. All I want to do is make a whole lot of stuff that you can put in to any game system. I don't care what you're playing. I don't care what version of D&D you're playing, whether you're playing Pathfinder or a completely different game that isn't D&D or Pathfinder. I just want to be able to make a collection of ideas that help you build the monster that you want. That's really what I'm trying to do, okay? Carell, hello. And I probably butchered your name again. Shadow Sense can sense and detect the location of anything inside or connected to a shadow. It's a very unusual feature as a sense. Okay, let's put that in as a something for me to work on. Let's take out the formatting because that won't help me. And then withering gaze. They see all living things with they see all living things wither and age. Withering gaze. That is weird. This is not a gaze or a sight that actually affects them in some way, is it? Is this what? Because it feels like a monster power. Do you know what I mean? Or a trait, a monster power or a trait. I don't want to do that. I'm a little bit confused about that. I get it, wrestling. I'm aware of Dragonlance. I did read the books. I don't know if it's just me, but it's hard to hear the stream. I'm on max output. So I'm a little bit further away from the microphone because of the keyboard, but I know that YouTube has been messing with the sound. For those of you who are wondering, they definitely do mess with the sound. And there haven't been any updates as far as I know at my end, so there shouldn't be any problem. But yeah, it's probably because you're on a phone and you don't have as much control over the sound volume when you're on a phone. Whereas if you're on a desktop or a laptop, it's a bit different. I always find that there's this problem with YouTube is they always mess, particularly with things that involve phones. Of course, most people tend to be on their phone. Navigation sense. So Pale Rider can flawlessly navigate in a certain environment, air, land, sea, underground, particular. Okay, I'm all for that. Let's take this. And I think your description is pretty good, so we can just drop that straight in. And then we just go back to the next bunch of ideas. Microvision can see extremely small things. Why not? Absolutely. I think that's a good idea. Good idea, Chris. Let's put it in there. Let's put it in there. Let's add it to the list of things that Fred has to work on. Dear. Can sense and navigate using the planet's electromagnetic forces. Oh, this is like pigeons and birds. I see what you're trying to do there. I feel like we should actually tie that and connect that in some way to Pale Rider's navigation sense. I think that needs to be tied and connected to that. So I'm going to copy and paste it, and I'm going to drop it into that collection of ideas so that when I rewrite it, it includes electromagnetic forces, because navigation by sense, animals tend to use gravity or magnetic fields to navigate by. So rather than things like the stars and the sun, which I suppose you could say it's a sense, but I feel like that's not really a sense. That's something that you learn. Hello, Ranger. How are you? RSA? From the RSA. Now, where is the RSA? As in the RSA as in terms of the Return Servicemen Association? Is that what we were talking about, Ranger? Is that the New Zealand RSA, or is that a RSA in a different country? You let me know. Underwater hearing. Can hear spoken languages underwater without distortion. Okay, all right. I see what you're trying to do there. I feel like it's probably unnecessary to have that one, but I mean, hearing is hearing. Sound does travel underwater, but you're right, it does have distortion. I don't know how they would be able to hear it without distortion, because whatever you're receiving is going to be distorted. Sense mutant. Sense mutant is probably right. Sense mutant. Yeah, I feel like you're right that the abnormal, the genetic abnormality is like sense mutant. It's very, very much tied to that idea, isn't it? It's a good point. I don't know if that was what he was after, though. The genetic thing, Pale Rider, genetic things. Something from World War Z. How the zombies ignore anyone with a sickness or disease. Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. Right, I get it. Now it's a Pale Rider. It was not Fred Huber. It was Pale Rider who put that idea forward. So it comes from World War Z. Now I'm familiar with World War Z. I did actually watch the movie, so I kind of know what you're talking about now. Okay, so we can, yeah. All right, I got it. I think the genetic abnormality is probably about right. But we'll see. Nana sense. Can sense fresh nana bread. Oh, yeah. It's a bit of a curse. Oh, I see. So it actually causes them. Does it cause them to age or not to age? And that's the question. Okay, all right. Let me go back to my document. I'm going to just mark my spot in the chat, because yeah, I'm getting either I'm getting confused or I'm not getting confused. But we've done pretty well. I feel like we've added to our list quite nicely. So this is what we have. This is all your ideas. There's still a lot for me to do. We've got 21 that are, I feel, pretty much finalized. I don't think we need to worry about them. They're alphabetically ordered. And there's a bunch of things, and I did add in all of your new suggestions, which I think are very clever. I like the navigation sense. I really like that one. Even the shadow sense is interesting. The abnormality, genetic abnormality that monster can sense sickness, disabilities, mutations, deformities, and disease. And I think I'm pretty happy with that now. I think now, based on what you said to me, I think that's what we'll line it up as, genetic abnormality. Cut. G goes where? F, G goes here. Put it there. Genetic abnormality. There we go. New sense. And what else do we have here that we can finish off? Somebody had here we go. The navigation one. I think we need to do the navigation one because I really like that one a lot. The monster can. Why do we say flawlessly navigate? Can. Flawlessly? Can navigate in certain environments by detecting the planet's electromagnetic what's it? Is it forces? I think it's forces. Oh God. Okay. All right. I think there's a better word than that, isn't there? Electromagnetic fields. It's fields, isn't it? Forces and fields. Forces and fields. Okay. All right. Bit long-winded on my part, but it's done. In certain environments. Does that work? Is that better? Doesn't like that. Environment. Can navigate in certain environments. Environment by planets. Let's do that. Doesn't seem to like this. Okay, we're just going to move it anyway. N. Okay, navigation. N for navigation. Where are you? N. Nav. Navman, navigate. There we go. Let's put that in there. We have our pigeon sense now. Ta-da. Lovely. Okay. We're almost at the top of the hour. I'm going to stop there. Microvision. Oh, can I do microvision now? I can do microvision now. Is it microvision or binocular vision? I think let's go with microvision. The monster can see extremely small things. That's it. Let's just make it super simple. Let's grab that one and cut. Put it into M. M for micro. Micro goes there. And paste. Here we go. Sweet. Okay, navigate in a certain environment. Okay, so that's better. Okay, that's got our grammar sorted out. Okay, so there's a few other things here. Obviously, I have to work through and sort out and rewrite and add to the list. We are clearly on the right track now. I feel like we've got lots of ideas. You guys might come up with more ideas. I feel like I've got plenty to sort of work with, and we'll come back to this. But yeah, so far we have a total of 24 different senses. Some others that need to still be filled out and sort of worked with. But yeah, no, it's been very productive. I feel like we've achieved quite a lot. And I don't feel stressed, which is always nice when I'm doing a live stream. There's nothing worse than feeling stressed out. And I'm ready to have a snooze, actually, before I have to go to work. So what have we got here? No one actually ages, they just see it. Oh, they see them aging. Oh, I see. Now I understand more. Okay, so now I just have to figure out how to write that so it's clear. Okay, anyway, I'm going to finish up this poll in there. What is happening tomorrow? So for those of you who are aware, I have going back to my early days, I have a thing for a game called Hero Quest, because my family played Hero Quest a lot of Hero Quest, okay? Hero Quest was a huge part of my life. Now, Hero Quest is currently sold by Hasbro. Now, we know Hasbro is a complete pain in the butt. I'm aware of this. You're aware of this. I'm aware of this. You're aware of this. We're all aware of what they are like. But tomorrow, I'm returning to Hero Quest because I would like to start again. It's a new year, and I've noticed a lot of people have been looking for various RPG systems and so forth. And for me, Hero Quest is one of those games where I absolutely want to keep returning to it in some way or form or shape, because it's really close to my heart. And so we're going to be going through the Hero Quest board game as we do, as you would expect. And I'll be doing that tomorrow. That is the intention. So for those of you who don't remember the artwork, I think I can pull up a piece of artwork for you so you can see it before I disappear. Or maybe I can't. I don't know. No, it's not going to work. No. Hero Quest. So we're returning to Hero Quest. I'll be going through, it'll probably take me a month to go through everything, and then I'll be finished. That's the intention. I really want to do that. And those people who are wanting to continue playing Hero Quest, I certainly want there to be plenty of stuff on the internet that you can utilize and refer to. And I'll see if I can chop things up into small bits and pieces as well. It's not so easy because it's not financially viable at all doing shorts, but I know people like them because they're a quick reference. I get it. I understand that. So if it's possible, I'll do some. Anyway, back to Hero Quest tomorrow. And so for those of you who are here, thank you for being here. Thank you to my patrons. I do appreciate your input. Do all monsters in a tabletop role-playing game have to be scary? No. 77% said no. Yes, 11%. Undecided, 11%. Interesting, that's 9 votes. So thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you to all of my patrons. You support me so I can keep doing this sort of thing. I do appreciate it. Thank you to Esper the Bard. Okay, really, really helpful. Esper's been great about this whole thing. And gosh darn it, if it wasn't for those people in the chat, I would not be able to do this. This wouldn't really be a monster workshop on lore. Without you, it's really not possible, okay? We definitely need to have you. So thank you, Pale Rider. Calrel, thank you. Dungeons and Chronics for your feedback. Chris Broskett, thank you for being here. And I believe Fred Huber was also here a little while ago. He may have had to move on, get on with other things in his day. I totally get that. That's all good. So thank you for those people who've been in the chat and commenting and presenting your ideas so that we can get more tools for everybody. So wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, the night, or the wee or the early morning, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.